Hunting for military and first responder discounts has historically required going from one website to another, creating multiple accounts and logins to make purchases, and jumping through various hoops to verify your service. Don't you wish there was one place you could visit that had carefully crafted selection?
I do.
Yeah, there should be. And GovX is the ones bringing it to you.
I love it.
They carefully craft a selection of deals for military and first responders in one spot. GovX works directly with brands to negotiate the best prices possible because you deserve the gear you need at the prices you've earned. Plus, you can trust that the gear you're ordering is 100% authentic, direct from the manufacturer. A huge collection of gear and apparel from popular brands all in one convenient location. How awesome is that? Signing up for GovX is fast, easy, and totally free. So if you're an American of service, anyone with military, firefighting, emergency medical, or law enforcement experience, join GovX and enjoy the site that honors and gives back to patriots like you. Use JABS15 for $15 off your first order of $50 or more. GovX.com. Savings for those who serve.
Love it.
What's going on, everybody? We are excited. The Jabs podcast is excited to welcome as our guest today, Gary Vee.
Boom. Yeah. Well, first off, we just want to say thank you as a podcast because you guys make this happen. Thank you.
I'm proud of you guys. I know you guys really wanted to do this and the energy's there, and I'm glad to come and join for a couple of minutes.
I appreciate that. And then, let's get now this whole NFT thing. I'm getting hip to the game now too.
Yep.
What's your take? Like, what do you like? I mean, give me your thoughts. Like, I know I see on the news all the time talking about, but like, what's next? What's big?
My thoughts are first and foremost, the people listening need to get educated. That's so new. The consumer blockchain, everyone's bringing their internet brain to it. They're like, right click and save. Is it a real asset? Even look behind you guys right now. Like, what's that Deadpool doing there, right? People collect things. People have affinities towards intellectual property, to stories, to characters. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The collectible art and collectibles part of NFTs is what has all the attention right now. But it's only one use case, no different than in 94 when the internet came out. Everybody just thought it was the information superhighway, right? Like, it was like a good Encyclopedia Britannica. That was like why people were excited about it. But the internet was destined to do so much more. And I think that's what's going to happen with NFTs. I think right now it's collectibles with a little bit of utility, but I think it's going to be mainly utility with collectibles on the back. And what I mean by that is every sporting event, every VIP ticket, every receipt when you buy something that's expensive, all those things I can see being NFTs in a decade. The contracts to your home, to your car, it is a ledger that really allows you to have affirmed contracts on it that are not manipulatable, that are confirmed, that don't cost money to confirm, like the rest of the world with title insurance and things of that nature. And so I think it's a big deal. And for all the people listening, everyone's caught up in the gold rush. How do I make a quick buck? Should I buy this penguin that has like a burrito up its ass? That kind of stuff.
Where's this burrito at?
Exactly. I think that everyone's a little bit, that's going to be dangerous. That's going to be beanie babies. I think 95% of these projects are going to be very vulnerable. I know what I'm doing with VeeFriends, which is I'm going to try to build my Disney, my Pokemon, my Marvel for the next 40 years. I'm a good businessman. I'm good at marketing. I'm going to work hard. I care about my reputation, so I don't want it to fail. So I think it's going to do well. Unfortunately, a lot of projects are not that. A lot of people are just trying to make a quick buck. And, I think we'll see this space evolve. But all in all, I'm incredibly bullish. And what I would say through that long-winded rant is if you're a NFT knower, become an NFT maybeier, right? Like, just saying no because it's new and you don't understand it. There's a lot of 20, 30, 40-year-olds who've just become their parents. They made fun of their parents for not understanding how to use an iPhone or not how to use Instagram, and they were on Facebook. And now they've become those parents because they're scared to learn how to use the blockchain. And I don't think they should do that.
I think you're obviously notorious for being kind of ahead of the trends in like what you're looking into business wise and where your interests are and everything like that. So I think for people that are trying to get into it, it'd probably be a good idea to look to people that kind of fill your shoes, that are trendsetters like that, where they can sit there and maybe piggyback and go, okay, what are these people doing that are more, obviously more invested in it, know a little bit more. It's like, those should be your teachers and who you're kind of looking to, right?
As long as you don't buy what they're buying. Right. Yeah, like everyone's blindly buy. And then there's a lot of like things like OpenSea shows that shows all these NFTs in my wallet, but I didn't actually buy them. People just dropped them into my wallet to make it seem like I bought it so that other people buy it. And they're doing that with the other 150, 500 influencers that seem to have attention. So to answer your question, yes, I think it's always good to learn from people that are good at what they've done, right? Like, like, and have had a track record. I feel very confident about my CryptoPunks or my X copy, decisions. I've done very well with World of Women and Bored Ape and things that I bought when they first came out. But I think that, people need to be thoughtful about what they buy. I think lots of Twitter, lots of Discord, lots of following influencers. And then after 30 hours of that work, then you buy something that you can afford. Yeah. And by the way, you buy something that you can afford to go to zero. Like you got to understand it's high risk right now, but long-term, I think there's some opportunities. And much like the high risk of the internet stocks in 99, all of those went to zero. Oh, by the way, Amazon did not go to zero. It was $5 a share. And if you bought 100 shares of Amazon in 2000, your life would be in a very weird financial place for a small investment.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Like, I guess the question is like, how do you identify stuff like that? So we just said, being ahead of the
30
trend.
hours, dude. You study hard.
No, a lot of research, but I'm saying, how do things pop out to you? I guess my question.
That's a good question. For me, intuition, intuition on people, it's no, by the way, no different than the way I decided that it was a good idea for Vayner Sports to sign Stipe, even though
not there yet. It's only been 2 years, but I can always drop the ball on that.
But you know what it was, Stipe? Like, let's talk about this. I think this will help people and connect people to the podcast. When we courted you to come to Vayner Sports, there was very little confusion on my side. I can't speak for Lloyd or AJ, but I said this openly to the men at the time. I was like, look, Stipe's not got 40 fights left in him, and so this is like a relationship that we need to know that we want, because we want to have it with him, because he has 1, 2, 3 maybe fights. Maybe he'll do boxing. Maybe he's an action star, and though we don't do that for a living, but maybe we can help him sign with somebody. But for me, 40 seconds into being on a Zoom with him and his wife, I'm like, I just want to be this person's. I like this person. I want to be around this person. I'm willing to give to this person. And so similar to the way I look at like NFT projects, if I have a sense, I invested in Mark Zuckerberg 18 seconds into my first conversation. I wanted to invest in Facebook, right? Ed Williams, one of the co-founders of Twitter, 1 hour in. Yes. Rachel, she's got a company called Micmac that I think she's building a very big company. She'll be one. Like there's people you meet. And I really think for me, going into these Discords and Twitter, listening to a Twitter Spaces, watching him or her do a couple podcasts, I think the best way to invest in a project is your belief in the person.
Yeah, totally. I'm just letting you know there's a new project come out. It's called Stipe Capital. Just feed me money and I'll take it. You can watch it grow.
That sounds like a terrible project.
It is a terrible one.
Terrible
Great
investment.
for me, not so much for everyone else.
You gotta be willing to go to zero.
Right. 100%.
That one feels very zero oriented.
So actually talking about NFTs, though, I heard that the Super Bowl, if you have a ticket to the Super Bowl, you get an NFT. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've heard the headlines. I've been very crazy this week, given my obnoxious travel schedule. So I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to the Super Bowl, so I'll be able to see it. I'm curious, this is where I'll get a little nerdy. Is it on Polygon? Is it on Ethereum? Is it on Solana? Yeah. Is it actually an NFT or is it a digital asset? The difference there is it on a blockchain or is it not? It'll be interesting to see how the NFL is going to execute this, because it's a very big challenge to do this, but it's really cool. Like, I'm really actually excited about seeing it. I just landed, I just showered, I just jumped on this, but I'm sure tonight at the parties or some of the business events I have, I'll probably run into somebody who's got a read on what the project is like or is. But more importantly, like YouTube just announced, I think yesterday, they're going to start making their YouTube videos available to be NFTs. Like, here's my thing. Here's the thing I want to leave with in this podcast. If one person listening,
I'm listening,
decides to do more homework and understands this is not a joke. This is not a ha-ha. This is not a fad. This is not Beanie Babies. This is a technology, the consumer blockchain, which is what NFTs really kind of represent. Many people interacting with blockchains, not internets. If somebody leaves here and really now gets down the rabbit hole of what I did in 2020, what is an NFT? Literally, guys, that thing, eating some fucking, what was I eating? I remember Chinese food, like watching YouTube videos that were like NFT 101. That's what I was doing in late 2020, January 2021. That was 5 minutes ago. And, for me, I'm just good at understanding what human beings are going to do before they think they're going to do it. In 96, I told all my friends, everybody would online date. They laughed me out of the dorm room. They thought it was the stupidest thing ever. That's for fat 500-pound dudes sitting in their mom's basement. Now everyone does that. I told everybody in 1996, 7, 8 that people would buy wine on the internet. Almost every grown-up that I told that to laughed at me. People thought the internet was a fad. I thought everybody would have social media. Everybody. I got laughed at for that in 2006, 7. They said maybe celebrities would. No, I said everybody. And I believe everybody will own NFTs in a decade. And that's not because everyone's a collector, because yes, there'll be those people. It's because they're going to become utilities in our society, like ticketing, like receipts, like VIP access, like the representation of a contract. And that's that.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'll give you an example. Let me give you an example. Stipe, are those your belts up there?
Yes, the ones I stole from UFC. Yes.
Yeah, stole by beating people's fucking faces in.
Boom. Not so much laughing. Yes.
Sorry. So anyway, you displayed those proudly, but this podcast, some people want, but one day the UFC is going to issue their belts and also issue that person an NFT that represents that belt. And that will be an asset. And like, for me as a Stipe fan, I may put in right now a bid for $10,000 on that. Hopefully you've been smart with your money and you don't need that right now, but we've heard the stories of people selling their Super Bowl rings or their belts or things of that nature. Yeah. It could be a double collectible, right? You'll have the actual physical, you have the digital, and people are going to care to own that. And by the way, it's a lot easier for me to make a fake Stipe UFC belt than it will be to make a fake NFT. And that's powerful. And I think people are going to learn that over the next decade.
Yeah, I know. I definitely, it's one thing I've seen a lot of like fakes and a lot of, like people, like I think my wife, we were looking at NFTs and it was a couple of weeks ago, we were really getting into them and she was like looking to buy an NFT and like, she just kind of did it at nighttime, kind of just messing around. And I think she hit the wrong click, the wrong link, whatever for one of them. And she got screwed. It wasn't a lot. It was like, $50. She just wanted to see, she just wanted to see how it worked. And she, it was like one letter or one dot or something messed up. And she didn't know. Now she knows. We're good now. So, but I was like,
education.
Yeah, exactly. Education. And so, yeah, and the worst part is like she knew about it too, and I think it was just nighttime, and then she was tired. Probably didn't realize it when she clicked it.
Of course.
So then she realized going to Discord. It's better to go to Discord because they have actual link in the Discord chat and all that stuff, and their generals and stuff like that.
I love it. Well, man, thank you for having me on. I got to run to my next meeting.
Thanks so much for being on.
Dude.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Appreciate it.
Great day, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
What are you talking about?
I read it.
Hugs do what?
8 seconds of hugs.
8 seconds of hugs.
Help with bringing them the bad mojo down and bringing the good mojo up.
I don't think I've gotten 8 seconds of hugs in the last year.
I can give you 8 seconds of hug right now.
I don't. That's terrifying.
I try to do it to my wife every night, and she says, "Get away."
She says, "Get away."
Yeah.
Well, you're in the doghouse right now.
I'm always in the doghouse.
Well, you just told me before we started.
Well, yesterday, it was 2 days ago. I was taking my daughter to school. No big deal, and I was going 5 miles per hour down my driveway, and I stopped, slow down. I see cars coming. Of course, there's like a ton of cars coming, like son of a dinghy. And then I stopped, and I just kept sliding. And the car, it was like 5 feet. I wouldn't have hit it, or they wouldn't have slid. Like they hit me or whatever, but it was my fault because I slid into them. But they took off my front bumper. All gone. And my daughter was in the car. I was terrified, and she just go, "Whoa!" Back to watching YouTube.
Everything's good though.
Yeah, she's fine. Yeah, it was fine. It just
there we go.
It was a debacle, and then like I just felt terrible because like I was really going so slow, and like it didn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But what you can do? And then the wife wasn't happy, and then we're good. We got another car. We're fine. Like it's just water on the bridge. It's life.
The good thing is that your significant other will probably let it go.
No, not at all.
That's a loaded.
But to bring the mood back up, I got something installed today.
I know. I saw. We took a sneak peek at it right before we got down.
The golf simulator.
I know. Looks pretty sweet. I'm
excited.
Pretty sweet.
I loved it. It was fun. And the guys did are awesome. The guy that owned the company, crazy story. He's a IT guy. There's Igor. They fly in and they flew in from Dallas and whatever. And they're like, yeah. I was like, how'd you get into this? He's like, it's funny. He was an IT guy and then he saw space and then he was friends with one of his friends was a real good golfer and they started making like song golf like it's what's it called? What's the golf? I can't remember the name of it, but it was like one of those places you practice swings and stuff and
like a track man, like a
no, but it's like a place. I can't remember the place what it's called, but
driving range.
No, but it's like a certain place, something I can't remember anyway. But he had those, and then they were doing good, and then some were doing bad, and he's like, I'm out. And then he saw all his stuff, and he realized he's like, man, I sold a lot of stuff off Facebook Marketplace, which then it turned into he made this, and now he says 10 to 20. He sells 10 to 20 a week. He says.
Yeah, more direct to consumer type.
Yeah, and his is a little bit cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's great. It's a great product. I mean, I love it. I mean, it was dude, like I hit a couple off the ground today. I didn't have the mat. Didn't come in until right before he left, so I was in off my mats. But it was awesome. It was like the guy was like, I'm so like this makes me feel so good, even because I sucked ass. And he's like, he's like, I know you're not doing well, but it just makes me feel so good to watch you love it that much.
Oh yeah.
And then talking about golf, I took my dog to the vet the other day.
Okay.
So the vet walks in. I never had him before. I usually I have one other lady, but guy walks in and he's like, how you doing? Older guy, probably like 65, 70, super nice guy. And he's like, man, I wish I was as popular as you were. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh yeah, I'm on the senior PGA. He's playing at what's one, the British Open next week or this week, whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, I'll be watching out for you.
Yeah.
I'm coming for that title, bro. He's like, he seemed like a normal dude.
That's
like
hilarious.
But yeah, he's like, yeah. So it's pretty cool. He's a nice guy.
Small world.
Right? And I was like, what? He was like totally like whatever. He's like, yeah, I'm going to British Open next week. Like
real calm and collected.
I looked,
I'd be like, this is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Although
if I had sweatpants on, I had a huge boner.
I'm sure. Well, the thing though too is I'm sure if he's in the senior PGA, he played on the PGA, and then he's seen all these crazy golf courses and all that sort of stuff.
But I mean, he was just so nonchalant,
Dude, I gotta when Jamie gets a second, no rush, James. You have to see the video if you haven't seen it. So they did the Pro-Am at Pebble Beach.
I saw it, yeah.
And Justin Spieth is taking the swing like right on the side of a cliff. It's like a
70
foot
so
drop.
He crushes it, right?
Yeah, he hit a good shot for where he was, but I mean, like, holy shit, like if he misses and swings and falls off the cliff, he's
full
screwed.
circle. I just saw a video of a 14-inch sex toy being pulled out of an intestine.
It would also be as dangerous as falling off a 70-foot cliff.
I saw it. I was like, it was on my Instagram.
How do you get that in your intestine? Was it a human intestine?
It was a woman.
Okay. And it was a how big?
It's 14-inch. It was massive.
Oh.
It was not just like not even long. It was big.
It was in her intestine?
Yes, they had to like cut her intestine. They were doing surgery.
Well, here's the real question. Which end did it go in? How did it get there?
What do you think?
Obviously she didn't. Yeah, I know.
No, it was impossible.
It would be impossible the other way.
Yeah, or she would die.
Yeah. Well, she could have died from the other way too.
She has a colostomy bag now because of it.
Oh, that's terrible. Yep. Well,
do you know your anus can stretch out to a point where a raccoon can fit in there?
So what?
A raccoon can fit in there.
Why a raccoon?
I saw it on.
And the real
question, James, you see that?
The real question is who decided that the raccoon was going to be the litmus test for?
I don't know, but I saw it was like 7 or 8. I have no idea what it was, but boom, guess what?
Yeah, look. So Jamie pulled it up. He's right on the edge of he's standing on a cliff. That's on the 8th hole at Pebble Beach. It literally falls off a cliff. Yeah, he ran away as fast as
I would have grabbed it and just thrown it. I would like
that's ridiculous.
Right.
So, well, actually, speaking of, the Olympics are going on right now. I know we talked about it last podcast, but have you seen the meme where it's the lifeguard at the Olympics and it's like, oh, you feel useless. Imagine if you were the lifeguard at the Olympics and they whatever. So there's a new one out. And while we were talking about golf, this kind of ties in. So the Waste Management Open, this will come out after the Waste Management Open ends, but that's going on as we speak.
Biggest prize of the year?
They're trying to get 1 million people through that tournament this weekend. In the 4 days. It's nuts. They rebuilt the grandstand higher. It's insane.
They make enough money there.
It's insane. But somebody did another meme and they took a picture of the guy who holds the quiet please sign and it goes, Matt, you feel useless. Imagine you're the guy who holds the quiet please sign at the Waste Management Open.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I saw a video. I think somebody shared it on social media or whatever, but it was when they open the gates in the morning. It is a mad
It's like
dash.
Black Friday at Walmart.
Dude, there's thousands thousands and thousands of people that are just running over each other to get to where they got to go. And if you've never been there before, how would you know where to go? You'd be like, oh shit, let's hope we find the right place. I mean, obviously you want to go to the 16th hole and be in the grandstand and see all that shit.
That's not me too. Like, you think about hitting in front of this, like people screaming at you, like,
oh yeah.
I was like, yeah,
that was like, where are you gonna put it? You're gonna hit it too far or shank it into the grandstand. You're gonna put it in the camera, the media people on the right, like
whatever you gotta do, right?
Yeah. The funny thing though is like you would just be like, not you, me, like anybody. I think the nerves would be like terrifying. Have you seen like when they hit out of that chute when there's like all the spectators and people? I would totally hit someone. I would be the guy that hits like a little boy. So, yeah, someone's going to the hospital.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah,
but
James, you okay? Can you say something?
I'm good.
Oh, he's here.
There you go. Jamie's here. He's alive. We put Jamie in a rough spot today because we won't. Are we going to say who it is, or we just want to hold off? All right. We got a guest coming on towards the end. We got a guest coming on towards the end of the podcast. You'll see it in the headline of the podcast title when it drops.
I'm like kind of a time traveler.
Yeah, it's a time traveler. Hey, he might be at the beginning of the podcast. I don't know when he's going to.
No, but he's like a time traveler. Though. He knows everything going on.
Yeah, he's ahead of the trends, as we would say. So
always.
So we put Jamie in a tough spot, and he's having a rough day to begin with.
We apologize.
But we're recording this episode, and then it's going to get mashed with the interview. So
this is what we do.
It's okay. Jamie, you're a trooper.
You are a trooper.
I don't think he doesn't even have the microphone by him.
Thanks, guys.
And also, I was going to say, I saw on social that your son's nickname was Awesome McGlovin.
It's a good one.
McGlovin.
Awesome. Like I actually laughed out loud. I really laughed.
Yeah, that was a product from his coach.
Drinking in Jamaica.
He was in Jamaica when he came up with it.
Listen, those are the best.
He also got the mullet refined too.
Oh,
it's a little bit longer, a lot longer, cleaned up a little bit.
He looks fresh.
It's looking fresh mullet.
He's like, I'm here for the party, but I'm also here for business.
Yeah. He's enjoying the mullet life.
You better keep it too.
As long as he can.
You know what he needs to do? He needs to highlight it in the back.
2 other kids on the team got one just in the last week, which is pretty cool. So,
dude, it's gonna be a trend. And then I'm telling you,
he should get like a skunk stripe,
bro. Oh my god,
he'd get kicked out of school. They'd be like, "You got to
public school, you'd be fine."
Oh yeah, dude. I had blue hair.
You had blue hair?
Yeah, I had tons of color.
I saw the one picture when you wrestled in the high school and you had the bleach blonde hair.
And in college too.
That was a look.
Yeah.
Speaking of bleach blonde hair and golf, Brooks Koepka dyed his hair blonde, and he's like 37-year-old man.
They had a bunch of memes, but they had a bunch of guys like with blonde hair. They did it too.
Oh yeah,
that's funny.
I don't know. I couldn't do that. You know what I'm hoping makes a recharge back is frosted tips.
I had frosted tips. I actually dyed my hair too. Dark, like black.
Yeah.
With caramel highlights.
That's a step.
Dude, listen, I was a boy bandish, bro. I had earrings.
I had earrings too.
I bleached my pants.
What were we thinking? Like, I know worked. The late 90s, early 2000s. I have no idea.
Bye.
I had the frosted tips. I had earrings at one point. No idea. Jamie, you ever have any weird stuff?
I had the typical, like the 90s skater cut that was really long on top and shaved on the bottom and sides or whatever.
Oh, yeah, where you shave it all the way up on the side, but then it falls over.
Yeah, had earrings. The cock ring is still there, so it's all good.
The Prince Albert?
Yeah.
Oh, it's more like a nub.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like, we don't know what to attach it to.
Right.
Just to the skin.
Just to my labia.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sure. God. You know what? We should tell the labia story from the winery. If we don't say who it was.
Oh.
That's such a good story.
Right, so you want to do it?
I don't know. Well, you can tell the story. We were at the winery a couple weeks ago. Yeah. We talked about this. One of the people that was with us told us this story.
Removal.
And it's one of the craziest things.
They get laser removal and like they get armpits and get the genitalia area. And it's a girl. So her vajayjay. And she's in the shower and all of a sudden.
Well, no, she had a new.
Oh, she's a new girl. No, a girl that wasn't her. She didn't have her normal girl.
Yeah.
So it was a different girl.
She says, ow.
Ow. And she's like, oh, no big deal, whatever, blah, blah. It happens sometimes it happens. She's in the shower and a freaking piece of vagina fell off.
Yeah. Piece of the labia. Did you hear? You haven't heard this story before?
It fell right off. And I go,
yeah.
Whoa.
Like a piece of skin.
It wasn't like a
from the outer labia.
It was like, it came out.
Yeah.
It came out.
Yep.
But it's going to grow back.
It just fell on the shower floor.
She thinks she kicked into the shower in the drain.
Would you be terrified? Jamie, if your vagina fell off, would you be terrified?
I would be terrified. Absolutely.
Like, what would you do?
Part of me.
What?
What do you do? Like,
I don't know.
Like
I'd be worried.
If you scrub yourself, you just see a piece of meat fall off.
I'd be worried.
Your meat curtain.
Definitely be worried.
You trimmed your meat curtain.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie's wouldn't fall off. It'd just be hanging from the Prince Albert.
It's so
It's a
old.
big Montana. It's a big Montana Mondays.
It's you can see it through snow pants. It's big.
Oh, gosh.
Wow. Wow.
That's a disturbing thing I never want to think about again.
I mean, wow.
You're welcome.
You know, Jamie's fired up, but he's dropping one-liners in there.
Listen, I love it. Listen, you're still in the game. I love it. And you know what? It means a lot. It means a lot.
I feel like the energy's up today. Even though Jamie's energy is angry, I feel like the energy's up today
no
because
question.
it's a Friday.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm excited. I'm going to eat pizza for dinner tonight. It's going to be a good day.
I got to go to work, so.
That's your
my golf
choice.
simulator.
You did it by
is.
choice.
I have to clean up first, but I'm going to the golf simulator, working my stroke.
I was going to say, how often are you going to like just randomly disappear from the house? Like Ryan will be like turning around and be like, "Hey, Stipe," and
Never.
you're just going to be downstairs already, just hitting golf balls.
It's never going to be
You don't
allowed.
think so?
No, I'll be like
He's
at night.
scared.
I'll be at night.
What if you like
All I need is
work
like an
her
hour.
into the activity and like
Yeah,
maybe
maybe she'll start golfing.
Yeah.
She can work her stroke on me.
That's also not going to happen.
That's
That
a lie.
and the simulator.
That's a complete lie.
Yeah,
But I did get the simulator. You said I was going to get it, and I got it.
Yeah. So, yeah, you just got to work your magic, get her a set of golf
You know,
clubs,
actually,
and then
we thought
get
about
her
it.
interested.
I talked to her about that.
Yeah.
She was like, "I want to take up tennis." And one day, I looked at her. I'm
Tennis?
Like, I looked at her. I'm like, "What?"
It's a
She's
lot of
like,
work.
Yeah, I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I think it'd be fun." I'm like,
It's really
no.
really bad for the knees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not gonna go there.
Are you a big tennis guy, Jamie?
No, I know a lot of people that play though, and they at this point in their lives, every one of them is blown out an ACL.
Bro, so
Every single one of them.
talking about tennis. I went to IMG Academy, which is huge.
It's big.
I had to say it, Bolletary, I can't remember. It's so long. Like it starts with the B, and they're made for their tennis. That's what was there first was tennis. And so like Sharapova went there. So like
Okay.
she won Wimbledon that year. Like when we were there,
It's in Florida, right?
yeah, at Bradenton. When she won it, it went crazy. Like it was nuts.
Yeah.
So dude, like we would go there for training, like lifting and whatnot. Because we stay at the Pittsburgh Pirates spring training, like their minor league team, whatever. We would stay there, but we would go there to eat and whatever. And I remember going through the parking lot. There's just tennis balls off the parking lot. But I'll never forget. There was this girl. She's probably like 10 or 12 years old. She's like walking by us in the shopping cart with a bunch of tennis balls, having a medicine ball, whatever. We're like, "Oh hi." She's like, "Hi." This chick was like, "La, la, la." I was like, "Oh my god, this chick is a goddamn animal." Like it was crazy. I've never seen it, and she was so young, but like it was crazy. But there was Bolletary. There it is.
Bolletary, yeah.
that's it.
I mean, you had Agassi, Jim Courier. They've had.
I mean, dude, the one day
that
I
was like
sitting
the U.S.'s.
Training
That was
center.
their tennis center. Yeah.
So I remember the one day I'm doing squats, and remember that dude who played for the Jets? His name like Pennington with the Marshall.
Chad Pennington.
Chad, yeah.
Sitting there working out, right next to me, squatting. He's like, "What's up, bro?" I'm like, "Hey." He's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm for baseball." He's like, "Cool." Like I was like,
Yeah.
And then the basketball players, like they were just ginormous. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy. It was like, you know,
It's got to be such second nature for them because they're seeing those people all the time
Yeah,
that are
right.
all like in that same.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
what's funny? I have a funny story though about staying down there. So every Sunday we wouldn't play or have anything. So that was our like day off to do fun stuff. So we always go to Siesta Key Beaches because they're like the
It's
wavest
right there.
beaches ever.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
Amazing. So I'll never forget the one time we were in the water and we're playing like catch, whatever, just messing around, a bunch of drinking beers, and there was this chick. She was laying on the beach wearing a thong, whatever. And all of a sudden I look again and I see a dad walking by with his son, and dad just just staring at this girl's ass. Right. The best part about it is his son is dragging through the sand, and the guy is Jesus! Like it was like a good
care.
5 seconds. Like
Yeah.
the kid was like eating.
He was
sand.
just pulling the kid.
Just dragging him, dude. I was crying when I saw it. I was like, "That's gonna be me one day."
I could just imagine. I could just imagine that kid just face down in the
Oh,
sand.
he was screaming. It was awesome. Dad had no idea. It was amazing.
Oh. Hey, priorities.
Listen, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
I think so.
I mean,
But the yeah, I mean, I would imagine if you're going to a training facility like that. Well, first off,
well, it's bigger now. Now I have a high school now.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, I know, which
It's
is
like
nuts.
really
Because
good
I
at a lot
didn't.
of sports.
They didn't.
Well, the one the IMG from the Ohio team that is like they destroy the Ohio team.
Yeah, I mean, they're ranked. I think they're nationally ranked.
Yeah, they're top 5.
Yeah, so
They better be. They got the top kids going there.
I would hope so.
I mean, it's a lot of money to go there too. But dude, like, so we stay at the Pirates like training camp, and like it was the smallest rooms ever. Like the shower head was lower than my head. It was crazy. And so we would go there. Dude, they have like condos and shit.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like they get pampered.
What sport do you think, if you tried it, you would be absolutely horrendous at?
Golf.
Well, we're all horrendous at golf, and we try that often. I'm gonna say gymnastics.
Oh,
if I tried to, it'd be hilarious.
Well, I think gymnastics is you got to start young.
Could you picture me doing like somersaults,
tumbling?
I'd be terrible.
I'd much rather see Fat John try, but I think you'd be better now than you would have a few years ago.
No, there's no.
No, I would have been better before. I was
Really?
more
the twirl
rubbery.
with a cigarette in his mouth.
Now everything hurts. I would have been more rubbery. A ball rolls better when it's more round. So
I'm gonna put it out there and just say it's hockey without question.
Right?
You think so?
I would. Yeah, I can't skate. So.
Well, you're a type of person you would learn fast though.
I don't know. I went skating last Friday with my kids and I fell and hit my head.
Well, you're like 95
hard.
now, so sorry you didn't break your hip.
Yeah, definitely had a concussion last weekend.
You think so?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that's how Bob Saget died.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard
He
about
hit
that.
his head.
The head injury.
What
yeah.
the heck?
Not just hit his head. I mean, he had some serious. He had a skull fracture.
Did he really?
multiple
And he went to
bleeds.
bed?
He just went to bed.
First off, God rest his soul, but that's a savage right there just to go to bed.
So he hit his head
How
and
did he
then
do it?
laid
Oh, you
down
know
and
what's
went
gonna-
to sleep. And
Yeah.
What did
he
they think
went-
he hit his head on?
I think I saw that, but it said that he had fallen backwards. So I'm
he
not sure if it
drunk
was in the
or-
bathroom or what. I have no idea. But talked to his family that night and said he had fallen, hit his head, but he was feeling okay and he went to bed.
That's nuts.
He didn't wake up.
That's crazy.
That sucks. I mean, that sucks. But like, oh my God, like, what are the chances of that? Like,
I had, speaking of falling while playing hockey and hitting your head, back when I was in college, we used to play broom ball. So you use like the other end of the, like a snow shovel thing, and they take the shovel part off. So you have the handle part that's down, and there's like this big hard rubber ball, and you're on the ice in tennis shoes.
Oh, Jesus.
And you have like a hockey helmet that you wear.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. However, I think it was like my junior or senior year. I definitely wiped out like feet overhead backwards.
Oh.
I hit my head on the thing. And I remember I was like, I'm a stupid college kid. I was like, all right, I'm out for the rest of the game, blah, blah. And I'm sitting on the end. I'm like, man, like, I'm surprised. Like, I got a little bit of a headache, but nothing bad. Definite concussion.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
There's no way that I didn't not have a concussion. And then we finished the game, and then all of us go out to the bar, and then we're out till 2 a.m.
and you drank and made your blood
just what you
thinner
wanted.
and
Oh,
died.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good chance. I remember the first time I ever really got a concussion. I remember I was playing freshman football, and we were playing this one team, and they brought their freshmen who were they're farm boys, and they brought the two guys in JV down. They're freshmen though too, and they're huge. And we're playing fullback. I get the ball, and this dude literally bear hugs me, and I'm like, and then just fall flat in my back, and he falls on top, and he was like 200 some pounds, and we're going here, pew, and everything was turned green for like a little bit.
Really?
I was looking around, I looked like a Martian. You know what I mean? I was like, I ran away. I'm like, you're right. I'm like, you're fine. It was bad.
I'm going to go sit down.
Yeah, and I went to bed that night still.
Well,
Here I am. That's probably I'm not right.
I think you're right.
James doesn't think so.
James shaking his head.
Definitely not right.
It happens.
All right, so we're going to hop off of here in a minute, get switched over to what we need to get switched over to. But really quick, one last topic before we do so. Jeremy Giambi.
Oh, his brother, Jason's brother.
Jason's brother, Jeremy.
Oh, yeah, I sent that. That's
Did they
terrible.
find out what was the reason?
Is suicide.
Oh,
Self-inflicted
man.
gunshot wound.
Oh my God.
We're really bringing the podcast up for when our guest jumps on.
But yeah, so very sad. But
That
this had
sucks.
brought up the topic when we had met Jason at the Indians game, and
But he's-
just the kindest human
Dude,
being
I've never
on
met
earth.
someone like I remember meeting him, and he was so just pumped and energetic. Like he was just a good dude. He's like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "This dude's awesome." You know, this is his last show with us. You know, and I was like, "Hey, can I have a signed autograph bag?" He's like, "Yeah." He actually gave me the bag. He had a home run. I walk off home run with the night before. It's right there.
Yep.
Yep. Dude,
Yeah, sweetheart of a human being.
Dude, like hands down, sweetheart of a human being. Like he was just awesome.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can reach us at the_jabs_podcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. You can find Stipe Miocic on all social media platforms at Stipe Miocic. You can find Jamie at Mekalek, Mekalek. You can find me at JP Chubak. It's like Chewbacca without the CA. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Jabs Podcast.
Don't forget to ask questions, guys. No one's asking questions anymore.
All right. We're out.
All right,
Love you.
bye.
We hate Rick Russo.
Peace out.